Welcome back, everybody. I know it's been a little bit, but today we're doing a little bit of diagnosing on the car. Might not have anything wrong with the car today, but we're just going through all the cylinders. The spark plugs that I was running in there were fouled out. Pulled them out, saw a little white on the tip of the iridium plug, which shows signs of burning too hot. So we're upgrading my spark plugs. I don't know if anybody in the forums has done this, but I've done my research and found that these E3 plugs are some real stuff. So we're gonna upgrade those. I'm just waiting on a manager to get back to the store so I can pick them up, because we're doing a warranty exchange. But until then, we're doing compression testing. So far I've done 3 of them. I don't know if these numbers are right. I'll let you know in a few minutes because I'm gonna look it up. But so that is the front left side, 160, 160, and we're at 165 there. I'm about to test that rear cylinder there. We got the compression tester in there. We're gonna set this where I can see it. And let's see if I can get that on camera. Alrighty, now we're gonna spin her over and see where it goes. Alrighty, it stopped right there. Let's get over here and see what it says. 160. So the left side is averaging 160, 165. So far so good on the left side. Everything's pretty even. So we're gonna go on the right side. Now if you're wondering why I'm doing all this checking on my compression and everything, I pulled out a few spark plugs that had oil on the threads on the spark plugs. There's no oil in the spark plug holes because I have new valve cover gaskets, and there's no signs of smoking from the car, but oil on the threads is also signs of a sticking piston ring. So we're just checking to see if we have any low compression cylinder or a dead cylinder, which I don't think I have a dead cylinder, but I might have a low cylinder, and we'll go from there. If I have to, we're going to try to clean it out a little bit. There's a trick with seafoam where you can pour it down in the cylinders, kind of rotate it a little bit, get it on the piston ring, and then let it sit for 10 minutes and then spin it over again, put a little more, etc., etc. So, but hopefully it doesn't come down to that. So far so good. We're at 160 on the left side, so I'm going to go on to the right side and I'll let y'all know what I find. Alright, we're back. The car's compression and all the cylinders range between 160 to 165, except for one cylinder. We had one cylinder that was 150 psi. So we don't got no dead cylinders, but for the sake of it, I went ahead and started cleaning the cylinders. They've been soaking for a little while, or not clean them, but if I do have some sticking rings or something like that, they're gonna soak, and hopefully it will free them up. But what I used was seafoam. I put about a tablespoon, maybe a couple tablespoons worth of seafoam into each cylinder. Bumped the starter a few times to get it to rotate and get the piston going up and down and coat everything. And now it's been sitting for roughly around 30 minutes, so we're gonna spin it over and blow all that stuff out and let it sit some more and go get the spark plugs, because that's what we're doing right now. I'm gonna spin the camera around so you can see what it looks like. All right, here we go. Ew, we made a mess. We made a big mess everywhere. You think I'm gonna have to clean this motor. Alright, I got half the plugs back in the car. I'm working on the driver's side now. We're going with these. I've used them before. They're a decent plug. I had a 2002 Durango RT. We put them in, and they actually made a difference. So we're gonna put them in this car, and then when I'm done, I gotta clean the whole inside of my engine bay. The paint on my car is nasty. Yeah, so before I put the covers on and everything, because I might end up having to pull these plugs back out, I gotta clean everything because it's nasty under here. So I'm gonna get these plugs in, we're gonna fire it up and see how it runs, and then shut it down and start cleaning the underneath the engine bay, get the degreaser out. So y'all, I'll see y'all when I'm done. Gotta love it. Told you it was gonna smoke really bad when I look at this. That's from that sea foam putting in the cylinders. Just gotta get up the running temperature and burn all that off. Right now it's gonna run like crap for a little while. It's gonna act like it's got a little mist in it and all that because of all the sea foam that was in the system. I'm hoping I didn't get no water down in the spark plug holes because I had to wash off the engine, the sides, everything. But we'll find out. Just gotta let it get to running temperature. Probably take it down the road and see how she does, because what's not on there doesn't need to be on there for the car to run, so we'll see. Okay, we got the car running, but the problem is the car is missing pretty bad. So I pulled the plugs, or the spark plug wires, back off. Sure enough, after washing it, I filled the tube, like 6 tubes up with water, between 5 or 6 tubes up with water. So the way you can fix that is pull the plug wires, yank the plugs back out, let the water go down the cylinders, and spin her over. Make sure you unplug your EFI relay so that way you're not putting fuel into the system. And just sit here and spin it over really fast. Try to get as much of the water out of the cylinders. Okay. So that way you can go here and put it all back together. What I'm going to do is put the plugs and plug wires back in, and then stick the intake back on and spin her over and see how she runs. But it should be good now. I've done this before, but not from actually having to wash the engine. But, well, I mean, yeah, from washing the engine and be like, oh man, it's misfiring really bad. Get it home, start pulling plugs out, and realize, oh shit, everything's full of water. But this time yeah. So we got it all cleaned out. I spun it over, so now we're just gonna put everything back together and see how she runs. All right, car's running. It's actually running kind of smooth. Still got a little hiccup in it, but that's probably from all the stuff that's been in the cylinders between sea foam and water. So it's gonna have to get up the running temperature, you know, kind of burn everything out of the cylinders, and it should go right back to normal. You can hear it got a little bit of hiccup to it, but other than that, it's running great. I'm gonna let it warm up and see if she starts running any better. It is still kind of smoking from the sea foam, and that could be the reason why it's got a little mist to it. So other than that, everything's running good. Can't wait to take her for a drive to see how she does on the road. But as you can see right now, I don't got none of the covers on, but I do got my intake on. Everything's hooked up properly. So we're just gonna let it run through its system, you know, and just let it try to straighten itself out. So I'll let y'all know how it runs when I'm done. So. Fire in the hole. Hers like a kid. Alright, I'm going to pick up all my tools and get everything finished, put up, and then we'll go take her for a quick drive, see how she does. Car's back together. It's running great. I'm very happy with it. It took a little while for it to, you know, straighten itself out because of all the seafoam that was in the system. This car smoked for a good 3-4 miles. But once it burned all that stuff out the system, you know, and unclogged the converters with all the liquid that went through them, the car started running a lot smoother, and now it's just like, it's just night and day difference compared to what the car was running like. Now it's like smooth as silk, man. It has a lot more power. It accelerates a lot harder, runs a lot smoother. I'm just extremely happy with it. And if you are wondering, I know quite a few of the guys in the group in the LS400 forums and groups and all that. I know you are big NGK fans and sticking to what the car calls for. These E3s, so far I'm happy with them. I watched a video on it. There was a guy on YouTube that did a basically challenging the big top spark plugs and E3 NGK and I think AC Delco, and there was a copper AC Delco he tried, and the E3 outperformed them all when it came to spark. Yes, it is a hotter plug, but I'm gonna warn you, what I was running in here was those Autolite Iridium plugs. They're not hot enough for these cars. The top of them where the wires hooked up showed signs of getting too hot because it was changing color, and the tip on the Iridium part was turning white from blistering and getting too hot. So it was just signs right there. We needed a hotter plug, so there was my chance to try these E3s. I don't know if it's too hot for the car, but shoot, this thing runs good. The motor's running cooler. That's crazy. And it's just running great. I'm happy with it. But that's all I got left to do in the car. Hopefully this weekend we'll have a decent turnout at the car meet. I'm also going to be checking out like it's a bike motorcycle week kind of thing at the local bar here, and cars and bikes, so I'm going to check that out. That's tomorrow. No, yeah, Friday, not tomorrow. Or is tomorrow? Yeah, it might be tomorrow. Anywho, I'm going to check that out and see how cool that's going on, and you all will get to come along for the ride. But as of right now, that's all I have. If you like what you see, please subscribe to my channel, like my videos. It helps me out, and I will catch y'all next time.